Welcome back, all of you beautiful people. Welcome to the Tim Talks YouTube channel. I'm Tim Choi, and before we get into this very episode, can y'all do me a huge favor? You see that notification bell? Can you click that for me? And that big red subscribe button, click that for me as well, as I would greatly appreciate it and it would help grow this channel. Now let's get into it. Now let me ask you guys some questions. How many of you guys have difficult coworkers that you work with? How many of you guys have difficult people that you work with every day, that you see every day? And in this episode, I want to talk about how to deal with difficult coworkers, difficult people that you work with. Now, just a quick backstory about my life. My day job, I work for a hospital. And for the people that are watching that also work for a hospital, you guys know how it is like on a day-to-day basis and how much of a zoo we can work for, and the chaos and just how fast-paced everything is, and working with different doctors, different nurses, just different hospital staff. And these people are all different from us, and everyone's unique. They have different temperaments, different patience levels, and you definitely have to have some tough skin if you work for a hospital. And I learned the hard way. I've been working at a hospital setting for about 3 years, and I've definitely had my fair share of spats with rude nurses and doctors, and just me personally, very emotional guy, and I'm very reactionary. So if you were to blatantly disrespect me or just flat out just rude, 9 times out of 10 I wouldn't bite my tongue, and I would lash out. And there were definitely certain instances that I thought I might be getting fired, but thankfully I still have my job. But still a learning curve for me, and I'm learning more and more every day, how to have tough skin, how to deal with difficult people, because I honestly believe this. It doesn't matter if you work at a hospital or a law office or a publication company or advertisement agency, whatnot. I just think working with difficult people is inevitable. No two people are alike. People are going to have similarities. They're going to have differences, and you as a person are going to have to learn how to work with all different types of people, because not everybody's going to be happy-go-lucky and your buddy, your pal. There are going to be people that are just going to not give you any sort of generosity, any sort of courtesy to you. And the question is, how are you going to be able to deal with that? And with me, how I deal with it on a day-to-day basis, because I've grown to have certain expectations. So, I'm not saying that when I go into the workplace, when I go into the hospital, that I automatically have a negative expectation about everybody, that everybody's going to automatically be rude to me. But I also have in the back of my mind that there will be certain people that might be upset with my department, and they might have a complaint, and they might not present it in such a bubble wrapped way, and I'm gonna have to learn how to deal with that. And with me, I just learned that because working in a hospital, working in a workplace can be cyclical, and I'm gonna try to explain this, that in a cycle there's a lot of projected anger. So if person A is upset, they'll project their anger to person B, and the person B that has to communicate to person C will project their anger, and it'll just be an ongoing cycle. Now, let's say you're person D, you're person E. It's like, what are you going to continue the cycle of projected anger, or are you going to just break it? And with me, I'm a person that wants to promote positivity. I want to be a person that promotes love and kindness, even in the hospital setting, even in a difficult work setting, because I want to be set apart, and that's my beliefs as a leader. But break the cycle. break that cycle of projected anger. And because honestly, like, you don't know what the other person A or person B was going through, or like, because they were yelled at, they're obviously not in a great mood. And it goes a long way to just be the better person. Don't be reactionary like me. And honestly, like, just try to be the change, try to be the difference. And the benefit of breaking the cycle of projected anger or having expectations when you go into the workplace is that it helps build your character for the long run and helps enrich your life. Because let's face it, even if you were not to have this current job and you were to move on to a new job in hopes of finding a better, work environment, difficult people is not difficult to find, and it's inevitable, dealing with difficult people. And I honestly believe this. You remaining positive, you remaining level-headed, and you always taking the higher road is such an important quality and trait to have. And I encourage you guys to develop that in your workplace, because we spend a lot of our time working. So I think it's very important, and I hope you guys learned something in this episode. And feel free to comment in the comment section below if you have a tip in mind of how you deal with difficult coworkers, with difficult people. Alright, y'all, until next time, I love y'all, and peace.